Every summer, Sweden experiences a brief but total enchantment. For a few days around the summer solstice, the sun barely sets, the birch trees are green, and the entire country organizes around one essential activity, dancing around a pole decorated with flowers and greenery. Midsommar is Sweden's most beloved holiday, the one that Swedes say defines the national soul more than any other. It has ancient roots, pagan origins, and a directness of joy that is almost startling in a culture otherwise famous for restraint. This is the story of the most magical night in the Swedish calendar. Midsummer celebrations in Scandinavia predate Christianity by centuries. The ancient Norse peoples marked the summer solstice, the longest day of the year, as one of the great turning points in the natural calendar. Fire was central to early midsummer traditions. Bonfires were lit on hilltops to ward off evil spirits, to ensure good harvests, and to summon the sun's power at its peak. In Sweden, as in much of Northern Europe, the Christian Church absorbed these traditions over centuries, eventually linking the celebration to the feast of St. John the Baptist, which falls on the 24th of June. Sweden moved its public holiday to the nearest Friday and Saturday, anchoring it in the modern calendar while retaining the ancient spirit. The defining element of Swedish midsummer is the midsommarstång, the maypole. Despite the name containing the word May, Swedish maypoles are raised in June, not May. The midsommarstång is a tall wooden pole wrapped in greenery and wildflowers, with 2 rings or hoops near the top. It is raised upright in a ceremony involving the whole community, a tradition that may have pre-Christian origins as a fertility symbol, though historians debate this. Once the pole is raised, the dancing begins. The most famous midsummer dance is Smörgrodorna, the little frog song, in which participants hop around the pole like frogs, raising and lowering their arms. It is performed at every Swedish midsummer celebration, without exception, by children and adults alike. What makes Swedish midsummer distinct from most national holidays is the centrality of nature and the rural idyll. The ideal midsummer is not celebrated in a city. It is celebrated at a red-painted farmhouse by a lake, in western Sweden or the archipelago or the forests of Dalarna, the region often considered the heartland of Swedish folk tradition. Midsummer in Dalarna, and particularly at the open-air Museum of Skansen in Stockholm, is considered the most authentic form of the celebration. Wildflower picking the day before midsummer is a beloved tradition. Young girls, and increasingly everyone, weave crowns of wildflowers to wear. According to Swedish folk belief, if you pick 7 different flowers and place them under your pillow on midsummer night, you will dream of your future spouse. Food and drink are inseparable from midsummer. The traditional meal is a smorgasbord of pickled herring, new potatoes with sour cream and chives, crisp bread and Swedish cheese. Strawberries, the first of the summer season, are the iconic midsummer dessert. Served simply with cream, they represent the arrival of summer in its most concentrated form. Schnapps, nub, is the traditional drink, consumed in rounds with toasts and traditional snapsvisor, drinking songs that are an entirely serious genre of Swedish folk music. The combination of long daylight, outdoor food, and collective singing creates an atmosphere that Swedes describe as lagom lycklig, just the right amount of happy. Swedish midsummer carries a mythology all its own. The white nights, the period around the solstice when it never truly gets dark, give the holiday its otherworldly quality. In Swedish folk tradition, Midsummer Night was considered the most powerful night of the year for magic, prophecy, and the crossing of boundaries between worlds. Trolls and spirits were said to be active. The power of plants and water was at its peak. Young women bathed in streams at dawn to ensure beauty. These older beliefs have faded, but the sense that midsummer is a liminal time, a gap in ordinary reality, persists in the way the holiday is talked about and experienced. The film Midsommar, by director Ari Aster, drew on this mythology in a horror context. The real celebration is warmer, but the sense of magic is genuine. 3 facts about Swedish midsummer. First, Sweden has the longest midsummer holiday in Scandinavia. Midsommarafton, Midsummer's Eve, is a de facto public holiday on the Friday before Midsummer Day, meaning the entire country effectively stops for a long weekend. Second, the consumption of pickled herring on midsummer is so embedded in Swedish culture that the Swedes have developed dozens of distinct varieties: gravlax style, mustard, dill, onion, and spiced, each considered correct for different parts of the country. Third, Midsommar in Sweden is observed more widely than Christmas by some metrics of active participation. Almost all Swedes celebrate Midsommar in some form, while Christmas attendance at religious services has declined sharply. What Midsommar represents at its deepest is the Swedish relationship with nature and the national hunger for light after the long, dark winter. Sweden experiences dramatic seasonal variation. In the far north, the sun does not rise at all for weeks in winter. Against that backdrop, the white nights of Midsommar carry an almost intoxicating power. The holiday encodes a fundamental truth about living in a northern country, that summer is precious precisely because it is brief, and that the right response to its arrival is not to take it for granted, but to stop everything and celebrate it together with dancing and flowers and the smell of birch trees in the evening light. Across Scandinavia and the Nordic countries, Midsommar is observed in different ways. Norway's Sankthansafton on the 23rd of June involves bonfires on beaches. Finland's Juhannus is celebrated on islands and at lakeside cottages with bonfires and sauna. Denmark's Sankt Hans Aften on the 23rd of June burns a witch effigy on the bonfire, a tradition with a remarkably specific medieval origin. Sweden's Midsommar is unique in its emphasis on the maypole, the flower crowns, the singing, and the deliberate rejection of the urban. In a country defined by its relationship with forests, lakes, and the natural world, Midsommar is the moment when that relationship is most fully expressed. Midsommar falls on the 20th of June 2026. If you want to plan a long weekend in Sweden or to explore the Swedish archipelago and countryside during the most magical period in the Nordic calendar, Vacation Maximizer can show you how to combine PTO days around Swedish public holidays for the maximum break. Download Vacation Maximizer free on iOS and Android.